What's up, everybody? It is your girl, Jab Queen Boxing, and today is Thursday. So, you know what that means. It is Throwback Thursday, baby. Boxing style. Better yet, Jab Queen Boxing style. And today we are featuring none other than Marvin Marvelous Hagler, baby. Marvelous Marvin boxed from 1973 to 1987 for a total of 72 fights, 62 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. 52 of those wins came by way of knockout. Now, Marvelous Marvin was an undisputed southpaw in the middleweight division, holding the WBA, WBC, and the IBF championship titles, baby. He held the highest knockout percent of all undisputed middleweight champions at 78%. That boy was punching. The second longest active reign of the 20th century and the sixth longest reign as champion in middleweight history. Now, between me and you, I think that's due to this durable chin. He was said to have the durablest chin in boxing, only knocked down one time his whole career by Juan Ralden in 1984. And don't worry, we definitely gonna get into that. But before we get to 1984, we gotta go back just a little bit. We are gonna talk about Marvin Hagler versus Sugar Ray Seals in 1974, which was the first of 3 damn fights. Okay? Now, Hagler won a close decision against Seals in a fight they called the Champions of Tomorrow, their first go round. They fought again in 1974, and this match actually ended in a draw, which gave Hagler his first draw in 25 pro fights. Okay? After Seals the second damn time, he went on to fight Bobby Watts, who he also fought 2 damn times. The first fight took place in the first half of 1976. Now, Bobby Watts was from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Okay. Cousin of, I think it was Slick Philly. He was also a heavyweight. Jimmy Young is what his name was. Now, they went at it hard from the opening bell, punishing each other. But Hagler appeared to get the better of it. But 2 of the 3 Philly judges gave it to Watts, 48 to 44, 46 to 44, and the third damn judge even gave it a draw, 46 to 46. Hagler was furious. Okay? The headlines on the morning after paper read, "Welcome to Philly, Marvin Hagler." This obviously was Marvin's very first loss. Now that's just some shameful shit right there. Mm. And obviously, after something like that, he grew a disdain for judges. Never trust the judges, feeling like he, obviously was robbed. So naturally, I can understand something like that. He then turned his attention to Lee Monroe. Now, they fought 3 times as well. In the first fight, in the earlier part of 1976, Monroe won by unanimous decision. Now, obviously, this is his second loss in a row, so he feeling some type of way. He avenged that goddamn loss, okay? He ran it right back, defeating Monroe by TKO in the 12th round of their second fight in 1977. Bam! Take that, sucker. And he also won their third and final fight by TKO in the second damn round. He said, "Stop playing with me, yo." And after that, he remained unbeaten for about a damn decade. Next up, let's get into his fight with Alan Minter, who he defeated by stoppage in the third round. This won him the WBA, the WBC, and the IBF titles, ultimately putting him on the map and got him named Fighter of the Decade by the Boxing Illustrated, baby. Now, y'all know how the story goes. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? So he went on to face Vito Antuomo and Mustafa Hamso. Both title defenses. Oh, and did I mention he defended the title 12 successful times from 1980 to 1987? Baby. Man, he was in there thumping on Vito. Beat him so bad he didn't even come out the corner in the fourth round. The brother said, "Nah, I am good on that." Later that year, he went on to defend it again against Mustafa Hamzo for the first time because, baby, they fought more than once. But in this particular fight, Hagler won by TKO in the 11th round, retaining his middleweight belt. Now, another good fight was when he went up against Tony Simpson in 1983. Now, obviously, Hagler was the reigning undisputed middleweight champ. He whooped his head, honey, in 6 rounds to defend his title. Okay, I believe they stopped it at the 2 minute and 40-second mark. Man, Hagler was using that jab, controlling the fights. He just overwhelmed Simpson. I mean, Simpson, you know what I'm saying? He tried. He tried to engage. He tried to do a little something, something. He tried to get up in there close, but he couldn't land any clean punches. An uppercut in the second round hurt him. You know what I'm saying? And then here he goes, stabbing with that jab. His relentless attack led to two, I believe, knockdowns in the sixth round. And the referee just said, "You know what? We just gonna call this, honey. You ain't got nothing for him. Get on up out of here, you chump." Now here is where things start to get interesting. Later that year, maybe towards the end of 1983, Hagler went on to face Roberto Duran, who was moving up in weight to challenge him, right? Now, Roberto Duran, aka Hands of Stone, this was for the belts. And despite Hagler being a strong favorite in that fight, man, Duran gave him hell and became the first fighter to take Hagler the full 15 rounds as a champ. And although Duran lost, he earned a lot of respect for his performance. Real recognize real. Now, after that fight, Hagler was named Fighter of the Year by the Boxing Writers Association of America. Yes, he was, honey. Also named the Ring Fighter of the Year in 1983. He received the Golden Plate Award of the American Academy of Achievement that very same year. Talk about an overachiever. Now, remember we talked about Mustafa in 81? Well, it was time to run it back in 84. Well, I bet Mustafa wished he hadn't ran it back because Hagler put him down in round 3 this time and was happy to be done with him. He was a dirty fighter, man. Now, y'all remember that knockdown I told y'all about, right? Well, this happened when he went up against Juan Roldan a few months later. Now, Roldan knocked Hagler down in the first round. Now, listen, full disclosure, Hagler said he slipped, he was pushed, pulled. Either way, he was down for the first time in his whole career. Now, besides the knockdown, Hagler dominated this fight, ultimately stopped Roldan in the 10th. They said Roldan's eye was swollen, badly damaged. The ref just called it. Now, child, you want to talk about a barn burner? Ooh, let's turn our attention to 1985. Hagler versus Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Ooh, this fight was coined the war. Now, this was regarded as one of the greatest and most exciting fights in boxing history. Hagler did win, but from the first round, it was brutal. I mean, action packed slugfest that both fighters got hurt in. Hell, Hearn broke his damn hand in round one. Hagler put the pressure on him, though, even cut Hearn over the eye. Now, this fight only lasted 3 rounds. Hagler knocked him down in this round with a powerful left, followed by a powerful right. And, he was down. Hearns was clearly in no condition to continue, and the fight ended up stopped. But it's definitely remembered as one of the most ferocious and intense fights of all times. And because that fight was so good, Hagler was named Fighter of the Year by Ring Magazine in 1985, right before he went up against John McCumbee in 86. Now, this was a thrilling battle, right? Known for the knockout power, McCumbee was pushing Hagler hard, but Hagler was not having it, baby. He knocked him out in the 11th round. This marked his 12th successful defense of his undisputed middleweight title. Now, on to his final fight. He went up against Sugar Ray Leonard, baby, in what people considered a controversial win for Leonard, simply because he did a lot of pop shotting during the earlier moments of the rounds, but flurried at the end to make it appear as if he was doing something. And this obviously got him the win. Now, obviously, Hagler was furious. I mean, to him and everybody else, you have to beat the champ to beat the champ. And he simply didn't feel Leonard did enough to beat him and take his championship. But this fight is still highly debated to this day because Leonard refused to give Hagler a rematch when asked. I mean, he came back years later and offered him one after privately admitting to Hagler that he knows Hagler won. But Hagler said, I mean, the hell with it. He'd since moved on with his life. But let's take a look at some of the time he spent in the ring. That man was absolutely beautiful inside that ring. As I mentioned, his fight with Sugar Ray Leonard was his last fight as a boxer. He did actually retire. He ended up moving to Italy in 1987, I believe. Um, he transitioned into some acting. He was in an Italian film called Indio in 1989 and Indio 2 in 1991. Often playing like a U.S. Marine, I believe. He also did some boxing commentating. He made personal appearances here and there. He just made the best of his retirement. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame um, in 1993, I believe. So he lived a very fulfilling life after retirement. No regrets whatsoever. At least it didn't appear that way. He was also entered into the Fix Hall of Fame during the 2016 edition of Sports Movies and TV Milano International Fitz Fest. Now, Fitz stands for, it's like Science Fiction Hall of Fame. It's a collection of science fiction stories and novels, or like Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame. It's an institution that honors individuals who've made significant contributions to the genres of like science fiction and fantasy. So he was also inducted into that, which was amazing for him because unfortunately, in 2021, he did end up passing away. Now, Marvin Marvelous Hagler, who actually did end up changing his name to Marvelous Marvin, was survived by his wife Kay and his 5 children, who he had with his first wife, Bertha. His children's names were Charlene, Celeste, James, Marvin Jr., and Gentry. This was our weekly contribution to some of the boxers who came before us, just highlighting them and, their contribution to the sport. So rest in peace, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and prayers to his family. Well, guys, that concludes our Throwback Thursday Jab Queen boxing style. Until next time, y'all know what to do. Catch me on a panel.